many times I've fallen in the fire. I have scars. If you see the scars on my face, I had a seizure when I was coming back from duty at the clock tower, and these cheeks were off.
You fell off from the body?
Yes. So I was taken to the theater by a good Samaritan. And when they got my mother's contacts, they called her and I got treatment. Otherwise, I could have died. I've got attacked several times on the road. The very clock tower, one time I was from Baleses. I fell on the road and the trailer passed over me. By the time I gained consciousness, I had lost all the books. And my uniform was dirty. I was so ashamed to walk back home. But nevertheless, God gave me grace. I walked home and
Welcome to yet another edition of Masan Media. Today I'm here at this is the
Gospel Assembly Church,
Church International, together with the what is school name?
Gaka Nursery School.
This is Mbale City, and today I host a very special guest whom we are going to discuss with very many issues that are special and common, though not common. Without wasting even a minute, I'm going to allow her introduce herself, then we start. Welcome to Masan Media.
Thank you very much, sir.
Please introduce yourself to the viewers and those who are listening to you.
My name is Achenkisia Veronica. I'm a mental health nurse and a peer support worker working with the Jenga Community Development Outreach in partnership with Mbale Regional Referral Hospital in the psychiatric ward.
Veronica, when we talk of mental, because I'm very sure, I don't know whether it is true, that whoever is dealing with the mental health related activities or a peer educator, like you said, they have that specific part they are dealing with. Maybe briefly, our viewers, today we are going to discuss a topic called epilepsy. I'm sure every tribe or every language here in this country has its name locally. In my language, Luganda, we call it Ensimbo.
Yes, please.
I don't know, you're an artist.
I'm a Japadola.
Japadola.
Yes.
How do you call it?
We call it Tuofumi.
Tuofumi.
Yes.
Yes, and I think very many Bamasaba call it
Zifuhu.
Zifuhu, yes. And yeah, that's what we're going to be discussing today. Zifuhu. Japadola is what? Tuafum. Tuafum. And then in Uganda it is Ensimbo. It's what we're going to discuss here today. And the lady I'm having on the show today is a victim.
And a survivor.
Actually, a survivor and a warrior. Yes, please. What do you mean by a warrior?
A warrior means I am still going through the treatment for epilepsy, so I'm fighting against stigma against myself, fighting against stigma to fellow warriors, because we are battling an illness, an invisible illness, which so many people have myths about, and so we are warriors.
From that very point, when you talk of myths, what do you mean?
With myths, these are misconceptions that the society has about epilepsy. They have so many beliefs, false beliefs, myths are false beliefs or perceptions the community has. For example, if somebody has epilepsy, because this illness, some of the symptoms include someone falls, loses consciousness, urinates, someone can defecate on themselves. So many, for other types of seizures, the person may just stare blankly at you and you may think the person is just stubborn. So people think when you have epilepsy and, for example, you fall by the roadside, they come close to you, they are going to contract their disease. Or if you fall near fire and they help you out, they are going to be infected. Some believe that if someone has epilepsy, they cannot go to school, they cannot have a job, they cannot have a family. So many things around it.
And as a survivor, as you mentioned, and a warrior in at the same time, how have you been able to fight all these misconceptions, to tell the public that, this is, however much it is invisible, but it is a situation that can, that with someone with it can live in a society with other people?
So a brief history about, before I come to that point.
Sure.
I was diagnosed with epilepsy in 2005. And
20 years ago.
20 years ago. So I have battled epilepsy for 20 years and I'm still battling it. Thank God I have a supportive family, a supportive church. I have a supportive medical team. And I also cooperate with the medical team. And in 2005 I was diagnosed. So many people stigmatized my family. They told my parents, your daughter is cursed. They told my parents, probably the ancestors are following you. Wow. They told them, my family was, people could not come close to my parents. They couldn't come close to me. The first attack I had was in class, in primary 5. And when I gained consciousness, I realized the teacher had beaten me. Wow. I had urinated on myself. They sent me out of class, and I was told never to come back to school until I come with my parents. And people spoke so many things, but I had a supportive doctor. She's a retired psychiatric clinic officer, Dr. Namsisi Christine. I owe her a lot, who helped me to cope up with this illness. And how I came to know the treatment for epilepsy was through my pastor. My pastor is Reverend Dawson Meme, the pastor of Gospel Assembly Church International. He called my parents and told them, yes, I am a pastor, I am a man of God, but what I have seen is not a demonic attack. Yes, we know the devil is real, but what I have perceived, to take your daughter to the psychiatric ward for treatment. So
at first the parents also thought it is demonic or it is spiritual?
They did not know, because it was the first time.
Yes.
I am the first in my family to have it. There is no history on my father's side, no history on the mother's side, and there I am. I get the first seizure. The next time it happened, it was during our prayer altar at home. So what I'm told, I fell and I was trying to undress myself. So I'm sharing this not for sympathy, but so you can have a clue of how this happens and how people get it. And my mom told me, she helped me, they put me to rest, and within a few seconds I gained back my consciousness and I continued with the prayers. And the next time it happened was in church, and the pastor saw it. So the ushers took me out, gave me some first aid, and when it happened the second time and pastor witnessed it, he said, no, this is not a demonic attack. This could be epilepsy, and if we delay to handle the situation, it might get worse. And he assigned a specific nurse to my parents and told the nurse, take these people to the psychiatric unit, get the treatment and give me feedback. And that's how I started treatment in 2005. So from 2005 I have been on treatment, several types of treatment. And thank God the seizures were somehow controlled, though they are triggers. Sometimes you stress yourself, you're reading, this kind of life, people who go through this challenge, I realize you try to balance so many things and yet the brain is affected. It cannot contain a lot. The memory is affected, your concentration is affected, let alone the stigma associated around. You fear to walk among people. You know, when I urinated on myself, I feared to be among fellow pupils. And I felt lonely, though I had, like I told you, I had a supportive group of people. My parents had my back. I have heard of stories whereby, and I have handled patients in the hospital, whereby the parents first cite a seizure and the very first thing they do is to disown the child. They said, this is a curse, we don't have it in our family. Several stories. We've had stories whereby, for example, a couple, the wife has seizures, or the husband, and then when the husband or when the spouse gets a seizure, they abandon their wife, divorce automatic. I've had cases whereby employers fire off their employees because of a seizure. Children are sent away from school just because of a seizure. One incident I will never forget, but yes, I will never forget. When I had my first seizure in nursing school, and one of the tutors witnessed it, I was given a dismissal letter.
What?
Automatic dismissal. But then, like I told you, I had a supportive group. I called my pastor, I told him what's going on. I called the doctor, Dr. Namsisi. I called my parents, and they all told me, don't leave the school premises. We are coming. Thank God my father swung in action and came to the school. And I told the school principal, at first it was a tutor who was so enraged against me and like, how do you come for this course when you're sick? And I was told to pack my luggage back home because I got a seizure at school. I did my senior 4. I had 35 aggregates. People were there that were normal, and they had, I don't say that I'm boasting, but this is to show you that we are capable. People with epilepsy are capable. Only that something is wrong somewhere. What you need to know is that epilepsy is like any other disease. Only that it's affecting the brain, just like HIV, just like diabetes. It's not, HIV is transmittable, but epilepsy is not contagious. You cannot, like I'm interacting with you, I doubt whether you can even.
Of course not.
You cannot. So the principal told me, Veronica, we are sending you out of school. You cannot manage this course. I told her, Madam Principal, I did chemistry in my O-level and I passed. I got a credit. I did the biology, chemistry, mathematics, stroke agric. By then we had 4 principals. But then at A-level. But then when in the 3rd term, when I was meant to sit my A-level, the USCE, the seizures worsened, I think, because of the stress associated with the reading and handling the 4 subjects. I was admitted at Cure Hospital for monitoring and treatment. But then the doctor encouraged me and said, Veronica, no, don't give up. You can make it in life. And she told me, I want you to become a doctor like me. And she encouraged me. My parents told me, don't worry, we shall support you. We shall pay the fees. Yes, we have missed that year, but we shall pay the fees. I told her, Madam Principal, I did chemistry at A-level. Sometimes I would have a seizure while, you know, titrations, and you're handling the chemicals, you get a seizure, and the acids pour on you. And fellow students are running away from you.
Others are laughing.
Others are laughing. But I'm like, no, I will make it. I was determined. I said, come what may, I have to live a productive life like anyone else. And God helped me. And the other thing that I would let you know, from 2005, Pastor let the church know, this is our sister, she's having this, please don't confuse it for demonic attack. When she gets this kind of episode, do ABCD. He advised the church. And then don't let her out. if she wants to join a department, please, unless it might hurt her. For example, the band, those high music, the triggers.
Yes.
She told me, don't go where the trigger signs are. I told the school principal I did chemistry, I was not hurt. Both A and O level. How much more my fellow human beings? And I remember one statement Dr. Namsisi told me to keep in mind when anyone is stigmatizing me. Tell that person, I chose what I want to do, but I didn't choose the disease. So I told her, Madam Principal, I chose the course, but I didn't choose the disease. Allow me to do my course, finish it, and let someone else come in. And when I stood my ground, they let me do my course, but under tight conditions. One, I should get a distinction. Two, you should not get an attack. And yet this is something you can't control.
You don't have
out of your control.
Yes.
Anytime, anywhere, anyhow, it happens. And by God's grace, I never had a retake at any sitting. I succeeded. I had at my state finals, that is the final examinations for nursing, I had a credit, but I owe it all to God.
When you mention of, you said you're a warrior, serious,
Yes.
that means you stayed in the battle, and you're a survivor.
Yes.
And I'm very sure in any war, there are success stories.
Yes.
What could be the success stories fighting this illness?
With the patients I've handled or with myself?
Starting with yourself.
With myself, like I told you, one, I completed my nursing course. I have a job. I work with Jenga CDO. Like I told you, the myths people believe you cannot work.
Yeah, true.
Jenga employed me in 2017. They got me volunteering in Bala Regional Referral Hospital. And in 2017, I was recruited up to now.
You're almost making 10 years.
Almost 10. Up to now, I'm with Jenga CDO. I'm legally married.
Wow. Yeah, I
Yes.
can see the metal on your finger.
It's a ring. Not
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I met my wonderful husband in church. So I told him, my friend, you love me, but I have epilepsy. I'm fighting ABCD. Will you be able to cope up with me? He said, it's fine. I said, fine. Share with your parents, share with the pastors, and if you're okay with it, we go ahead. So I got married in 2024. And it's almost 1.5 years down the road. I gave birth last year. I have a son. He's normal.
Wow.
People believe that when you have epilepsy, you can give birth to a child who has epilepsy. My son is very okay. He's very fine.
Wow. Congratulations upon your marriage. You're legally married. Many other normal people are not, they're just playing here and there.
And by the way, I have one husband. I don't have many.
Who is a man?
A man. A man.
Be specific.
Yes.
Yes.
There are many normal people who have 6. Very normal. They are okay. And they have 6.
And that are looking for children, surprisingly. Let's cross to other people whom you've worked with the same situation or conditions.
I have success stories. I do have a peer support group for, initially it was for teenage girls, because the first time I witnessed a girl have a seizure, she was, God forbid, she was gang raped.
Wow.
And conceived. And she came to me and cried on my shoulders and asked, what should I do? I told her, no, let's go to the hospital, do PEP, all those to prevent any infections and then detect anything that could have happened. So I told her, kindly carry the pregnancy. Meanwhile, we try to search around. By then I was in my Form 4. I told her, you never know, it could be the only child you have, though it has been in a way that we do not expect. So she listened and she carried her pregnancy, gave birth to a baby boy. And right now, that girl is legally married.
Wow. She
has 2 children with a very supportive husband. And he is supporting this child that she got in that very, in a hurtful way. But she's working, she did a course in accounting. She went back to school after that incident, did accounting, and she's working. And I have had the girls in the same support group. They've joined. Currently we are around 100 internationally. Uganda, Kenya, Australia, US. So it's a WhatsApp and a Facebook peer support group where we encourage one another. We share stories. For example, I'm on this medication, what should I do? What should I expect? So we share our stories. So this girl, we identified her and we started her on treatment in 2020. Her parents had denied her, both father and mother. But I told one of the support group members, let us step in for her. We started her on treatment. We brought her to the hospital, Mbala Regional Referral Hospital, started her on treatment. And she used to have like 10 seizures in a day. As for now, she's even off medication. In 2023, she was getting 1 seizure a week, early 2023. September, she was having once in 2 months. 2024, the seizures kept reducing, once in 2 months. They put her on a drug holiday. As I talk now, she's off medication.
And she's normally living.
She's very fine. The parents have accepted her back.
Wow.
The parents have accepted her back now that she's fine.
So they never wanted a burden.
They say they were calling her a chisirani, bad omen.
Now, after regaining her normality, she's now a child.
A blessing.
Amazing.
Yes, so those are some of the challenges we face.
Actually, you mentioned off air, you mentioned of a case which you handled some few days ago about a child who was dismissed from school. How did you get to know about this one?
The support group members, one of the things we teach each other is to help identify another person in the community. If you see a relative, a friend, even if it is on the way, the lines are open. It's a 24/7 support group. Jenga gives me the airtime, though it is the funding is limited. My phone is open 24/7. Some of these people commit suicide because of the stigma around and no support. So in that way, in that support group, we identify others, bring them on board for treatment. The condition to be a member in the support group is you are on treatment. That is it. If you don't want to be on treatment, please, you will hinder others who have accepted that yes, we are not fine and we need help. Though we encourage them to start treatment. So with that girl, she had a seizure at school. She had just started her course. So when she had the first seizure, and after the seizure she was in a confusional state. They thought it was demons. The second time she was indefinitely suspended. They gave her a dismissal letter like I was given. But then one of the group members came to know about it and gave me a call at 2 a.m. I have a friend who has been chased away from school. Can you please help? Can we help? I said fine. So we contacted the police within what we can do. Contacted police. At first I talked to the tutors. They were negative about it. And they shared with the police. Police said no, let's swing into action. And they came to know that I'm a mental health nurse. We called some of the tutors, explained to them. I shared with them my story. And when I was going to the police, I carried my dismissal letter. I carried my nurse's uniform. I carried my work IDs, my nursing IDs, and I showed them, please, she can be an important person like I am. If I wasn't resilient at that time, like she is not resilient. She has been newly diagnosed. She doesn't know what to do. So the only thing is to leave the school. For me, I knew what to do. So I helped her out. And as I talk of now, she's on treatment and they've accepted her back in school.
Wow. As we are winding up this show, what could be your recommendations? One, to the parents who are having children with such conditions. Two, to the general public who are maybe seeing people or who know people who are having children in such conditions.
So my recommendation is, if you have a relative, a friend, a child with this condition, love them. My parents loved me. My mother used to hug me every day I came back from school. She told me, my child, I love you. Do not say that because this child is sick, let me give her a separate room because you will infect the others. No, let that child be socially accepted. Accept the child because he's not a curse. Tomorrow that child is going to be a blessing to you. I'm a great blessing to my parents because at least I have something to do. I'm a great blessing to my husband and my child. Love these children, take them to school, encourage them. Employers, don't be afraid to employers, because I'm speaking on behalf of the many.
Yeah, true.
If you see someone has fallen on the road, please help out, remove them from danger. And if you can't remove them from the place of danger, remove the dangerous objects around. For example, fire. Many times I've fallen in the fire. I have scars. If you see the scars on my face, I had a seizure when I was coming back from duty at the clock tower, and these chicks were off.
You fell off from the border?
Yes. So I was taken to the theater by a good Samaritan. And when they got my mother's contacts, they called her and I got treatment. Otherwise, I could have died. I've got attacked several times on the road. The very clock tower, one time I was from Baleses. I fell on the road and the trailer passed over me. By the time I gained consciousness, I had lost all the books. And my uniform was dirty. I was so ashamed to walk back home. But nevertheless, God gave me grace. I walked home and support these people, please. In whichever capacity you are. Some beat up these people. I've had an incident where the family burnt up the perineal area of our patient. The lady had an attack, and what they did was to burn the patient, in that they are burning away demons. So by the time the patient came, the state was worse, so was first referred to casualty, treated. Meanwhile, we're also treating the seizures. Allow these students to be in class. Do not send them away. I was sent away from class, several times. Fellow students ran away from me. One time I had a seizure and the whole row went to squeeze themselves with other students, and I was left alone.
What?
Yes. That's the kind of life we go through. You try to borrow a book, someone fails to give you, thinking that you will infect them. And the teachers also think you will infect the others. So we need a lot of sensitization on this. And unfortunately, it is underfunded. Very underfunded. Currently, around 270,000 Ugandans have epilepsy or above. 270
Ugandans.
1,000. Yes. And what you should know is everybody is a candidate. Once you have a brain, you are a candidate. Anything that affects the brain can cause epilepsy. Take an example of malaria. You get severe malaria, you have seizures. If there are more than 5 in a day, we start you on anticonvulsants.
Wow. Do you have anything else as we are winding up to tell the general public?
The other thing that I would share with the public, we need funding for this. Jenga supports me with airtime, though there are so many things we need to do. For example, what I'm doing with you. The school visits, we need to visit schools and sensitize them on this. We need media to come on board and sensitize the public. There is no money, no funds for these sensitization programs. Once in a while I'm invited to schools. Actually I go to schools through the patients, but schools do not allow us to go and educate the students, the teachers. They say their programs are so tight, but there is no health when your brain is affected. You cannot sleep, my brother, when your mother is having a fit. You cannot. You will not eat. So let's come on board, fund this epilepsy awareness program, mental health awareness program. There is no health without mental health. That is my request. Join me in this struggle to save lives.
She has said it all, and today's topic was about epilepsy. These are people living. I don't think it is now called epilepsy. It is epilepsy.
Yes.
But if you're referring to someone who is having this situation, I think you say some person living. A person living with epilepsy.
Okay. If you say epileptic, then you are labeling them, and that is stigma in itself.
So just say a person living with epilepsy. So that was the topic for today, and please, parents, guardians, friends, relatives, don't
the police
and the authorities,
media should come on board.
Media and others, please come on board and have a hand in this, and to ensure that the general public gets to know about what to do, how and when.
Yes.
And for those people who are having having this situation, please do not segregate them. They are also humans, and they can be even better persons than those you refer to as normal people in families. Because for us, she's a medical worker. She's a married woman. She's a mother. She's a wife. So you may find that there are very many normal people, what we refer to as normal, who are not blessed with the above mentioned. So please come on board and please support them. Until next time.